you have been out in front. You've been on this lonely hilltop for a long time, since X, through Pearl, and now with MaXXXine. You have been saying that the Ty West Mia Goth team up is one of the worst things that ever happened to horror. That X and Pearl are laughably bad. You said that MaXXXine was going to stink big time. Joe, we've never had this discussion on Movies Baby though. Get me up to speed on why you got such a beef with this whole Ty West Mia Goth team up that we now are at our third movie of.
I think it boils down to this. Ty, you were given everything, and you gave us nothing back. The idea of X, followed by 2 sequels that were thematically linked, that turned into Pearl, that turned into MaXXXine, they're all horror movies, each focusing on a different cinematic sort of decade, all around one central actor, in this case Mia. And that, in theory, sounds cool. So when I saw X, I think it hurt so bad because I was really excited for X.
On paper, amazing.
It's like, okay, great. Exploitation. Mia Goth, who I was unfamiliar with at the time, was very beautiful, right? So I was like, okay, this beautiful woman is the lead character, and she's supposed to be amazing at acting. Oh, good.
Killer poster.
Yeah, cool poster. Oh, Ty West. Oh, he did that. He did the devil thing with the woman, and the Greta Gerwig was in it for a second. And the ghost. I remember that being pretty good during college. Oh, at A24, like they're always on their game, Like I guess that'll still be pretty good. And then the reviews for X.
I liked House of the Devil. That movie.
I
liked House of the Devil a lot.
House of the Devil is overrated. It is not that good. It's actually just like, I can steal other movies too and put them all together and call it my own.
But at that point, it's like his first movie. It's micro budget. Like I was like, here we go. Here's somebody doing something. I liked House of the Devil.
Then, so I guess what I'm driving at is X really, when I saw it, like the bottom fell out for me. I was like, you had this opportunity to do this sort of like exploitation themed horror film with A24, and everybody loved it. And I was so confused because there isn't a scare in this thing. There isn't a single scare in this thing. The story is soft. Its themes, like sort of like old people and sex, are used so first thoughty. There's nothing sexy about X, even though it's a movie ostensibly about hot people having sex or making pornography. There's no tension sort of built up during X, and the whole thing ends with a lot of sound and fury, and the whole thing just slapped me of like somebody who did not really have a handle on what they wanted, and it's sort of this like mealy mouthed mess. Then Pearl comes out.
And I want a second because I don't want you to be alone on this, because I will say I wish we could have a little Siskel and Ebert dichotomy on this, but we have to be honest. And I wholeheartedly agree with everything you're saying. I was a little late to the game. Your reviews of these movies, honestly, were so bad. I was like, well, I can't see them now because I'm going to have Joe's review in my head. I got to give it some time. When I got around to seeing them, though, I agree with everything you're saying. The most confusing thing is the lack of execution of the horror beats in these movies. It is almost like astounding. The kills in X are so poorly executed and just sort of fumbled. It's bizarre.
He's allergic to tension. I don't understand. And if there's no tension, then your punchline or your scare is going to be completely devoid of impact because there's no anticipation or tension or anything built up. I read in the New York Times, someone quoted, Ty West, he builds dread so well. He doesn't.
It's the opposite of
he
the truth.
doesn't know where to find dread if he was looking for it.
He can't even build suspense well, much less dread.
All he knows how to do is like over color correct his ugly movies. You know why he edits, writes, and directs his own movies? Because he's too afraid to show anybody his piss poor work before it's all done and it's too late and the money's been spent and you got to put it out. I don't want to hear about cost controlling, Ty. You edit your own movies because you know the footage you're getting is hodgepodge and you're going to fix it in post and put it all together and you're going to find that dread. You never found the dread in X. In Pearl, you don't even remotely even begin to see anything reminding me
Look
of
at
Dredd.
him. Look at him. Look what you're doing to this man.
Pearl,
Look what you're doing to this man.
I'm just getting started. Pearl, okay, so now he brings Mia in as his like collaborator, and they write it together, and they stay up late, and Mia's sending Ty notes, and what if Pearl did this? What if Pearl did that? And the problem with Pearl is that it has, like, all these movies have this cool financial situation where they're low budget movies, and it sort of made his way. But that's why I find the whole trilogy so fucking agonizing. Is you've taken something cool and you made it lame. But anyway, in Pearl, he goes. First he wanted it to be black and white, but then A24 was like, "Oh, we got too many black and white stuff this year." And he goes, oh, "Okay, I'll just do it in a super duper Technicolor saturation." What a happy accident. You know, it's like, okay, so are you this like chief visionary, or are you just like flopping around and just like giving what's handed to you and pretending you're an auteur? So
yeah, haven't you read Easy Riders Raging Bulls? When A24 says that,
you tell them to kill
lay down
themselves
on the floor of their office,
right,
and you convulse and you spit at them until they tell you can do whatever you want.
You drive to their offices, you get all the reels, the negatives of the Lighthouse, and you color it in and go, fuck you, now you have one less black and white movie on your roster this year. We're putting Pearl in black and white. But he didn't do that because he's a coward. No, but so he shoots Pearl in this awful Technicolor. To call it Technicolor shows you how far cinema literacy has plummeted into the fucking earth. It doesn't look like Technicolor. It looks like the fucking Instagram filter that you turn all the way up on the saturation for dipshits. It's so ugly and garish, and that's not even the chief problem. The two chief issues are, number one, Ty West is a terrible director that cannot get tension created in his horror movies to save his life, and number two, he cast Mia Goth, the world's worst actress. Look, Mia Goth is very beautiful, but in a scary Victorian doll sort of way, like a porcelain sort of object in your grandmother's chest that you guess has value, maybe $125 for that scary fucking weird porcelain clown in the fucking little glass cabinet. That's Mia Goth. She is that doll come to life, and she is the overactor of the century. My God, this woman has never been in a movie that she's not like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it up to 500 and call it good. That's what Ty does too. He's like, if I'm going voom, voom, vop with my camera and cut, bang, and flash, zip, and booby. It's like, who's looking at boobies? And like, he puts like naked bodies on the screen, and then here's me inside. Boop, boop, boop. Like a heart rate doesn't. He, in MaXXXine, like, you watch a guy's balls get crushed. Here's my heart rate. Boop.
Nothing.
Boop,
it meant nothing.
Boop. There's nothing. He's just like, he can't scintillate. He can't terrify. But my God, is he doing? And he's kicking. And is it step ball chain? Kick, kick, kick. Light, 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 light. Color, 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 color. And that's Mia acting. Wah, wah,
I'm gonna be a fucking star.
And her worst performance is in Pearl. Holy moly, is she so fucking awful in it. And they feed off each other's awfulness. At the end of Pearl, they told you there's going to be this big long monologue Mia Goth gives that's really going to blow the house down. Terribly written, completely uninteresting. Halfway through the monologue, your brain like forgets what you're listening to, and then she's so bad in it. And then at the end of Pearl, Ty makes her smile over the credits, and she holds this big scary smile with these big tears in her eyes,
like the movie smile.
And it's like, it's just like it's like two theater, and I'm using this derogatorily, even though I am a theater kid and I love theater kids. It's like two bad theater kids hyping each other up, playing experimental crazy guys, and Pearl's really rough. So now the new one comes out, MaXXXine.
I also,
Sorry.
can I say
yeah.
too, I wonder, like, because you had been telling me this, like, Mia Goth is a terrible, I was like, how? Like, how, like, isn't she just doing, like, Scream Queen, Final Girl, like, fun, and, like, how could, like, and then when I watched X, there's one scene where she sees old Pearl for the second time, but Pearl is now like out in the yard and they have a little moment. And Mia Goth is like confused by this old woman out here in this yard kind of like signaling to her. But the way she does it, I was like, oh, I understand what Joe's talking about now. Because she literally does the like, it's like 30 seconds of her just going, huh? Huh? What? Huh?
It's like
you me?
It's
like,
Ty does it in his directing, and she does it in her acting.
I'm not here. What are you talking to me? Huh?
It's over.
And I was like, what's happening?
They overdo it and call it style.
It's bizarre.
It's not style. it's beyond melodrama. It's bad acting.
Yeah, it's not even good. It's
grounded
not even
in reality.
bizarre.
It's not grounded in any sort of human feeling, Mia, so you seem crazy and weird. And like Pearl's crazy and weird, Joe.
But it does not land on the other lily pad, which is it's not like good enough at like being hyper stylized that it lands on some other sort of like kitsch or camp, or like it is stuck in no man's land of just like it is neither thing.
Pearl is so unscary. It's so shockingly unscary and so bad. So now it's time for the third one.
Now, Joe, when we left, we saw MaXXXine. We actually saw 2 movies together this week, which is unprecedented.
We have not seen, like, famously, we've only seen in the past like decade 1 movie together.
We saw Tom Ford's A Single Man together.
Okay, actually true. So in the movie theaters,
I remember
10
seeing The
years
Illusionist
ago,
with you. With
that
Paul
was
Giamatti.
like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember all the movies we saw together. So we saw The Illusionist. We saw
Single Man.
We saw Mystic Pizza.
No.
The Jim Jarmusch. Oh no, sorry. We saw the Jim Jarmusch.
Not Mystic Pizza.
Well, not Mystic Pizza. We saw the Jim Jarmusch like triptych movie together. What's that? Like His Kinds of Kindness. It's called like Mystic something or something Pizza.
I don't think so. I don't think I saw that with you.
Okay. And then we definitely saw a Tom Ford movie.
Yes.
And then it was a long hiatus. And then like 6 years later, we saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood together.
That's right. That was great. That was maybe our best. That was the best. That or which we're going to talk about today. Illusionist. And I really liked
we
Evil.
love
Illusionist.
Evil Does Not Exist was amazing. Yeah. So this week we saw MaXXXine and Evil Does Not Exist.
So we'll talk about Evil Does Not Exist in a second, but to stay with MaXXXine.
Sorry. So let's talk about MaXXXine
when we
now.
left this movie, you turned to me and said, because it's a movie that's so bad you don't even know where to start in talking about it. You turned to me and you were like, well, Ty West forgot to make a movie again. And that to me is kind of at the heart of this. Can I say a couple things? And then okay.
By all means.
Because and I said this about the bike riders a couple weeks ago, that there was like no movie in the movie. It's never it is sort of empty style that never finds what the movie is in the movie. Ty one-ups the bike riders. It's a whole nother level.
It makes bike riders look like The Godfather.
But the irony is there is so much of other movies in these movies. Obviously, like X, he's doing Tobe Hooper. Pearl, I don't know what he's doing. Sort of like a horror twist on.
He's
Wizard
doing like
of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And you know what else he thinks he's doing?
Yeah.
Dancer in the Dark. Mia Goth in a quote was like, it's like Dancer in the Dark meets She was really inspired by Bjork's performance, and she was like, "This is like that meets Wizard of Oz." And it's like, have you seen Pearl? Have you seen those other movies? No, it's not.
Pearl and Dance in the Dark are both movies I will never watch again, but for very different reasons.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like Dancer in the Dark, you dumbass.
And now MaXXXine is video nasties, 80s slashers, but unlike Tarantino or Alice Rohrwacher with La Chimera, who turned their love of movies and their quotation of movies into something new, into something original and signature in their own, Ty doesn't know what to do besides quote other movies and have Mia Goth say, "I'm going to be a fucking star for the 700th time." There is he literally I'm watching this movie and I'm like, this guy does not know what to do here.
He has no idea.
He doesn't know what to do. There is nothing here. And I mean that at every level. Like you've said, the characters are one-dimensional. The horror is blah and not scary. There's no tension. There's no suspense. The kills are boring. The story is derivative. The dialogue is so repetitive. So it is just Mia Goth saying, "I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be the biggest name in the world,"
this one
over and over and over again.
Badly scripted.
It is wildly poorly scripted. And there is and then at the beginning of MaXXXine, there is this opening credits montage where he is just throwing all the shit at the wall. Satanic Panic, Moms Against Rock Music, Video Nasties, The Night Stalker, all of this 80s sort of culture stuff. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm doing what I would normally do at a movie. So I'm like, okay, this movie's going to be about Satanic Panic and the Video Nasties and this sort of conflict. Not really. Not at all, actually. Because what Ty West and Mia Goth don't understand is that to be about something, you can't just cite the thing. You have to have a point of view on the thing, preferably an original point of view. And I have never seen a movie that had less of a point of view and less of a direction. This movie has no idea what to do scene to scene. It has no idea how to execute horror beats, even basic horror beats. He couldn't even make Kevin Bacon as like a sleazy New Orleans PI interesting.
I know.
The entire movie, I'm sitting there like literally just going, "What? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, what?" Like I'm doing like it is. the movie has no point of view on itself or on its themes. It is just this empty assemblage of motifs from 80s horror
but you know what?
movies,
You know what?
but without the like ticking like clock or heart that made those movies work.
But also without the images and the motifs. Because in MaXXXine, it's not like, oh, that reminds me of Psycho. He literally points to the Bates Motel and says, this is like the movie Psycho. You know what I mean? It's not like a visual reference where you're like, oh, that's Lady Snowblood. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Ty West is like, this is the Bates Motel from Psycho. He loved Psycho when fucking he saw it. Do you know who his mentor was when he was out of college? Or who he worked for, who he apprenticed under?
No.
Kelly Reichardt. And
That's insane.
Yes. And he worked under Kelly Reichardt, which is shocking. Kelly Reichardt gives a very, very thin quote to the New York Times this week in the Ty West profile.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Ty. Crickets.
Say and later in this episode when we talk about Evil Does Not Exist, I want to talk about the current, what I think is the current golden age of slow cinema, and Kelly Reichardt's showing up and her current body of work, and talk about how slow cinema and Kelly Reichardt are saving cinema.
Yes.
But before we get there, a couple more things to say about MaXXXine. Can I talk about this? You go ahead. What do you guys say?
Sorry, I was still talking about the Kelly Reichardt thing.
Please.
Sorry, just really quick.
Please.
So he comes from Reichardt, or he like learned under Reichardt. That's cool. And then what was I going to say? I'm so sorry. Let's just move
killed
on.
it. I'm
No,
sorry.
you didn't kill
I
it.
killed it.
You didn't kill it. You didn't kill it. Let's just move on. Go ahead. My bad.
I want to talk about this, and it's like I can't. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna go and make like a super cut of all of the times that Mia Goth says she's gonna be a fucking star.
Okay,
but then I was like,
yeah.
but then I would have to actually watch these movies again, so I'm not gonna do this. This like trope. And I have no problem with tropes. I have no problem with sort of like intentionally expository like movie dialogue, but at least 50 times across this trilogy, Mia Goth says some version of, I'm a fucking star. I'm gonna be the biggest fucking star in Hollywood. Y'all are gonna all fucking suck my titties. I'm gonna be such a fucking star in this city. She says this over and over and over and over and over again. And in completely implausible moments in the movies. She says it like when she's like about to kill about to like shoot Pearl in the first movie. She says it then. I was like, why are you saying this now? Like what this is the
She's gonna be a
why
star.
are you saying you've already said it 100 times? I know that's what you want. You're gonna be a star. We all know it. And the thing is, there is a lot of things in X and Pearl and MaXXXine. There is a version of these movies that can work. There is a version of all of this that can work.
On paper, it's
For
cool.
example, I fucking love John Waters. Every single John Waters character talks like this. Every single John Waters character enters a scene and goes, hey, my name is Tammy Beerchin, and I'm the hottest bitch in Baltimore, and I'm going to be in movies, and I'm going to kill the Supreme Court. And it fucking rules because it's funny and it's smart, and John Waters is amazing, and so are his actors. But Ty West and Mia Goth aren't good, and they think they're iconic.
I don't get
And it
that.
is very, very hard to watch these movies, and it's very hard to see Mia Goth say this same fucking thing over and over and over again without any sort of like any sort of direction or like purpose or like beyond just the sort of empty trope of like a wannabe starlet or a ascendant starlet or this and that. It is honestly like I watched all three this week. Shocking. Like I don't know the people who like these movies. I don't
get
know
it.
what you're seeing.
It's because you've only seen Star Wars. It's because the people that like this movie, and maybe that's totally fine. Maybe you're 14 years old. It's like you're trying to get into cool stuff. And I think one of Ty's things is he thinks, or they compare him to Tarantino. They think like, oh, Ty West,
No.
you watch X and then you're going to get into 70s exploitation films. It's like Ty West, when you watch a Quentin Tarantino film, you can pick how much he's stealing and you can decide how mad you are about that. But what you can't deny is that he loves and knows movies, right? Like when Ty West makes his like collages of past films and all these paeans and references to these old movies, it's like, I don't know how many movies you've seen, Ty. Check out your Sight and Sound top 10 list for further fucking details. I don't know how much you love horror movies. I don't know how much you love the movies. You claim that you love the movies and these movies are about movies and you compare yourself to Tarantino. I don't know about that, my man, because these movies are so thin. You got to do the coolest thing ever. A24, I'll happily make you 3 movies for a total of $12-15 million, whatever it was. And I'll cast Mia Goth. Because Mia Goth, you know what the thing about Mia Goth is? She might be the worst actress alive, but she's a movie star, kiddo. Like she ain't going nowhere. Like I like Mia Goth. Like it's the funniest thing. I've never enjoyed any of her performances. I think she's fucking terrible at acting, but she has a certain je ne sais quoi. But my God, is it just it sucks. These are going to be like iconic roles. I think this whole fucking thing is a flash.
Did you hear
in the
about
pan.
this?
I think kids. I think this is just for fucking morons and not for people that actually like horror.
Nobody's going to go back and rewatch
these movies. Are really fucking lame. You know what sucks is like, oh, these are gateway drugs to all these amazing movies. It's like
not these. I'm not like
they're not
because we have. I will say we have long like put big asterisks on these type of reviews where like. I totally respect and get gateway movies. The movies that when you're in high school and you're getting into movies and you see something that maybe later on you realize was sort of like empty and pretentious, but when you're young, it is like the gateway into all the great cinema. I understand that. I respect that. Those movies need to exist. This I don't think. I don't think this is even that.
This isn't going to bring people into the fold.
I don't think this is even that.
Or maybe it hasn't, Joe. You're so wrong. You know, whatever. Honestly, these movies fucking stink. They don't look good. I think there's one good image in all 3, which is in MaXXXine.
Crocodile.
No.
I
Okay, crocodile.
like the near crocodile kill at the beginning. There are 2 shots in X that I liked and that mirror each other.
Yes.
And they interestingly I think are the only 2 things that are like not taken from Tobe Hooper because I can't think of any like analogous shots in Tobe Hooper, which is that aerial shot of the alligator approaching Mia Goth, right? Yeah. Right? That's a good shot. That's amazing. That's a great shot.
Yes.
Thank you. And then, so the alligator approaching Mia Goth, I was like, and that's early enough in the movie where I was like, okay. And then they repeat the shot later as she's like crawling out from under the bed where the 2 old, the old couple is fucking. Those aerial shots, I was like, this is like, but then like, those are just like the exceptions that prove the rule.
Look, those look good. It looks good in Pearl when right at the opening credits when she like throws some meat to the alligator, or the alligator jumps up in Pearl and it freezes.
Yeah.
And in MaXXXine, when the MaXXXine intro music is playing, and I was like, this guy. You know why he has a fucking career? Opening credits. This motherfucker can really nail it.
Yeah.
Well, like, go direct fucking music videos then, Ty. I love that you like
He'd
really
be
got it. Like, go make music videos.
He'd be a great music video director. Do the reverse Fincher. Go into music videos.
Go into music videos.
You'd be a great music video director.
When the MaXXXine opening
you
credits
could give,
are
like,
rolling,
Taylor Swift an edge.
When you see Pearl, when you see X, all 3 of those movies have banging ass like opening credit music.
Do edgy
things.
Taylor Swift videos. Just swim in money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, do it.
We found it.
No, like that's
we're not trying to put anybody out of work.
No.
We're just trying to put find the right
find the right work. And I think you need to go.
Everybody.
The only thing deader than movies is music videos, and I think Ty needs to go do those.
No, music videos are hot. You see the Kendrick Lamar music video?
If you have the number 1 song in the world, your music video will be seen. Anyway, MaXXXine, I liked when spoiler alert / you know what I hope? I hope I spoil this for you. I hope that you're like, don't do this. Skip. Here comes this fucking spoiler. Who cares? Ugh. I liked when Kevin Bacon got crushed by that trash compactor and the blood came out of the car. Very fun. That's just one shot.
That was a great image.
It was a great image.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that.
Fun.
I told you this afterwards.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Why are you killing this guy?
Whatever.
He's like he's just a private investigator for hire. Yeah. He has information that you need, and as the thing is coming down, he is screaming to you that he'll give you the information you need, and then you kill him. And it was like, it's just like, God. But you know why? Is because he knew he had his one good shot. He knew he had his one good shot. He wasn't going to let a little thing like story get in the way of it.
I'm shooting on the fucking back lot at Universal.
God, that sequence where Kevin Bacon's chasing her on the back lot
or maybe
with a gun.
Is it either Universal, I guess, or maybe they're Warner Brothers.
It's Universal because they go to the Psycho House.
Oh, right, duh. And then, And then Kevin Bacon gets crushed. Anyway, MaXXXine was I'm going to give it 1 star out of 5 stars, and that makes it the best of the trilogy, with X and Pearl each being half a star. But the only reason I'm giving it 1 is because I like that blood pouring out of that car.
But
fun. Anyway, I just you know, Paul Schrader. So Martin Scorsese is a Ty West defender, and I think I know why Scorsese reps Ty.
Yeah, that is the big mystery.
Here's what's
the big mystery. Tell me why.
It's because Ty West made 3 original movies that were thematically connected, that all did well at the box office, that he made for all low budgets that found an audience. And Scorsese, the, you know, savior of the cinema, likes all of those elements. Just like he likes that they get low budgets. Like, it reminds him of his Boxcar Bertha Corman days.
Yeah.
He's like, I like those low budgets. I like that you found a cool fans. And you know how like old guys don't know what kids think is cool, and then like someone is coolish enough, so they're like,
right.
that person must be cool.
Yeah.
So he's just like betting on this horse, where he's like, I saw this like, you know, this like colorful little movie for you kiddos, and he just likes that it got produced cheaply, and it cranked him out, and he got to make.
That's fine. I'm not going to hold this against Marty. I'm not going to hold. I'm not going to hold
I think he's trying to be nice to the younger generations, even though he's probably just like on his fucking phone playing fantasy football while he's watching Pearl.
Here's the thing, though, because we've said this several times on this show. You can be of two minds about a movie. You can support the trends that the movie represents and still be critical of the movies, because the way to like, because the we cannot like hit the panic button on movies where we're like, oh, anything that represents a good trend, which is just like micro budget indies doing well, means we have to support the movie. No, that is hitting the panic. That is the death of movies.
That's insane.
That's the death of movies, is when we hit the panic button and we like anything that is like a micro budget indie making money. We have to maintain our fucking critical apparatus and our fucking eye on these things. And because we went to the movie, we bought tickets for it. We'll go to the movies.
I'll go see every time.
But when we sacrifice the critical lens, that's when the fucking movies start dying. And I'm not putting this on Marty, because he stood up and said that the Marvel movies sucked, and I always love him for that.
Yeah, so Marty reps.
I'm just saying,
whatever.
as a general rule, we don't hit the panic button. Don't start liking stuff because it's like
That's
because
insane.
Yes.
Thank you. I mean, is that like, yeah, guys, don't like things.
Don't hit the panic
who
button.
Cares about that? Now, Margot, thumbs up, thumbs down. I see you active over there. I just want to know, like, do you like X and Pearl? And I'm being mean.
I will. I'm
you?
dying to hear from people who like this movie.
I thought it was all right.
Okay, you thought you saw MaXXXine? No, X and Pearl was all right. Look, I mean, you can do no wrong in my book, and you know I respect that. But I'm so sorry. I have to.
Well, we know where you stand.
I have to just say, gently and respectfully disagree. Don't like it. But anyway, Brett. Yeah, I think that. Anyway, then Schrader comes out and he says,
"What did Schrader say?"
Schrader on Facebook.
Schrader, who talked shit about John Dalman.
I love Schrader, and I love that.
What the fuck did Schrader say?
I do think that he's the second greatest poster of all time, after, unfortunately, Trump, who's like, you know, he like invented posting. But Schrader's the second greatest poster, and he said this week, MaXXXine, he's like, you know what, Ty, you need to stop playing around in the sandbox of B movies, and you need to take your palette, and we need to see you do a real film. AKA, yikes, MaXXXine really stunk.
Yeah,
maybe try a different genre, Bubba.
I see what Schrader's doing.
Yes,
there.
Go check out a different genre. Can you imagine like Ty West's fucking Age of Innocence, or Ty West does like a, you know, what like an ad, like Tenet, like what bullshit genre is he going to like pull from with some overacting? Okay, we are going to talk.
Here's an idea.
Brett,
Take your Ty West budget for your next movie and give it to Alice Rohrwacher, or give it to anybody. Maybe he doesn't get to make a movie for a while.
No, well, whatever.
He's not like an immovable object.
These
we
movies
can work
have
around
like
him.
Big fans. I don't know.
I don't know. It didn't make that much money.
Ty West comes from fucking Reichert and is repped by Scorsese, and he should have all the confidence in the world. And his camera suggests to me that he is an incredibly insecure man. Same with Yorgos. We're about to talk about Hamaguchi's Evil Does Not Exist and Annie Butler's Janet Planet. I don't mean this as cut and dry as slow cinema versus not slow cinema. There's a lot of kinetic, exciting cinema that I'm fucking obsessed with. Safdie brothers, name a million of them. But just like as far as the thing goes, like
it's one of the big themes of tonight.
Hamaguchi and Annie Baker in their films this year, they just know what they want, and they're like excited to show you what they're thinking about, and they know that you're fucking stuck in the chair and that you're an adult and you can sit there for 2 hours and just be chill and just like accept the art, let it hit you, and then digest it and stand up and be an adult about it. And the whole thing is riveting and every shot is beautiful and all the moments work and is good. But in Ty West and Your Ghost and some other contemporaries think that, okay, if I don't whiz bang flash them enough, they're all gonna go home sad. And I think that it just really slaps of an insecurity, and I think Ty West is an incredibly insecure director.
I'd like to coin a phrase. I don't know if I'm the first person to come up with this, but I did have this thought myself, and I didn't look to see if anybody else had said it. So I'm coining this phrase. Movies Baby is coining this phrase. I am sick of the faux tours. The faux tours, baby. I'm talking to Yorgos. I'm talking to Ty West. I am talking to these fake provocateurs, these people who think they're enfant terribles. You're just enfants, baby. You're just children working in an adult, or terrible. You're not both. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You're not enfant
terribles. You're just terrible enfants. You're just kids who are working in an adult medium, and you can't hang with the real fucking artists.
Get out.
Bring and look, I wouldn't be saying this if you didn't bring such fucking ego and bravado to your bullshit movies and to the promotion of these movies. And if you didn't show up on the red carpet like you thought you were fucking Godard at Cannes in the 60s, give me a fucking break. No more faux tours in cinema